George Connolly from Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be talking about how to hit out of the rough. We're going to take a look at some techniques, ways that you can hit the ball, things to consider before you hit the ball out of the rough, and then as always we'll be taking a look at some PGA Tour swings from the rough. Before we get into it, just a quick reminder, if you're looking to improve your golf game this year, you can always subscribe to this account. We're posting 2 or 3 times a week. A lot of good content to improve your golf game, so feel free to do that. Thanks in advance. Just some important notes before we go into the technique here. The number one thing that you need to do or consider when you're hitting the ball out of the rough is you need to evaluate your lie. You can be in the rough and have a perfectly good lie and it really won't be much different from a fairway, or you could also be really plugged, have some heavy grass, and then you have some other things to consider. So always evaluate your lie, and then you can make your club selection, and you can guess your flight, your spin, all that stuff from that evaluation of a lie. If you guys want me to do an entire video on evaluating your lie in the rough, just comment down below and I can definitely make that happen. The next thing you should do, always consider clubbing up in the rough. Unless you have a really good lie, there's definitely going to be some grass that will be holding you up, and it will make your strike less powerful, and it'll also make it a bit, unfortunately, less consistent. So it'll be harder to hit that good strike that gets you your normal distances. So always consider clubbing up when you are in the rough. You should be choking down on the club. This allows for a shorter swing, and it also allows more consistent and better contact with the ball. So choking down on your club is a way to kind of alleviate some of the stresses that come with the rough. And you should be placing the ball more towards the middle of the stance than you normally would, just slightly. This isn't a crazy compensation here, but this allows you to swing more down on the ball, which a lot of people, when they're in thicker rough, they want to scoop it up, but that's the last thing you want to do. Not most of the time when you're trying to scoop the ball out of the rough, you're just going to thin it and it's just going to skid along the rough, and then you have another shot in the rough. So ball in the middle of the stance, swing down a little bit. Speaking of swinging down a little bit, into the technique of the actual shot, as I said earlier, with the choking down on the club, you're going to want to shorten your backswing. I'll accelerate as normal with your swing, but by choking down and shortening your backswing, you're giving yourself a much better shot at proper impact. If you have this long, crazy swing, we're actually going to look at a long, crazy swing from Tiger later on in the video, but if you have this long, crazy swing, your chances of hitting that well, especially from the rough, are really, really small. So the shorter you are, be realistic, don't be crazy short, but the shorter you are, more choked down you are, the better chances you have of getting out. Focus on ball contact. This may sound like something everyone does, and you should be doing it, but when you're in the rough, there's a lot going on around your ball. There's going to be a lot of grass, so you need to zone in on that ball. You want to imagine where your club will be casting through that grass and where you want it to bottom out. It should be after the ball. But just really get that mental focus on ball contact. Next, your weight should be on your front foot. This kind of goes hand in hand with swinging down, which is also the last point. So you put that weight on the front foot, hit ball first, ground after, obviously, with that rough lie. So those are the fundamentals and some things to consider. Now I've got 3 rough swings that we're going to take a look at right now. Alright, let's first take a look at Tiger Woods. You can see right here, this is going to be a very big swing from Tiger. But one thing, I'll freeze it right here. Look how wide his stance is. This creates a very stable base. That ball is also a bit further back in the stance. But this is just a big swing. He focuses down. He keeps his rhythm and his tempo perfect. Really accelerated swing, and then the classic Tiger little helicopter finish. But big base, swinging down on it, those are 2 keys to take away here. This is a nice video of Spieth hitting hybrid. This is actually from our friends at Golficity. So love those guys, Frank and Mike. But here's a great video of Spieth. That's actually a fairly short backswing. It's a bit abbreviated, but you can see at the top right here how focused he is down on the ball. And then he has that weight transfer, that line right there, that forward weight transfer, and at impact he's in a great position, gets ball first, then he gets the grass and scoops through that way. Really good motion there from Spieth out of some pretty tough rough. And then finally we have, this is Jimmy Walker, former PGA winner. This is just a very fundamentally sound swing that Walker has. It's not the best lie, but just nice rhythmic, and he gets ball and then gets it nice lofted out of the rough right there. Hopefully you can get out of the rough a little bit better knowing these tips and seeing those swings. On the left side of your screen, you can see a link to subscribe to the SGT YouTube account. Also on the right, there is a video that YouTube has suggested for you, so give that a watch if you'd like to. Thank you very much for watching. Play well and take care.